cold couple of back there. Looks like we're going to have plenty of room on this. That should be alright. Make sure it has no seat in here.
Turn it sideways and sit it down in there.
Cover the top. Back there. No, they still on there. It's for the factory. This is a dishwasher bracket here. Normally your dishwasher opening is 24 inches. This one here we've actually got 24 1/4. Cabinet's got a little bit of age on them. They may have opened up a little bit. These brackets, they have ears on them, so it allows you a little play one way or the other. If it's shorter than 24, it's a little harder because we've got to, you know, make some cuts and things in it. But for the most part, they're made pretty user friendly. You put them in there kind of upside down looking. You've got all these holes here. These screws here, sorry, these small screws here go into these holes here, and a lot of dishwashers have ears on the top side of them, and those ears will get screwed in to these holes with these screws, and when you open your dishwasher, it'll keep it from pulling forward or falling forward. A lot of dishwashers nowadays are side mounted. As you can see, this one here's got the side mounts into the cabinet. But if in the future she ever decides to change dishwashers and it isn't side mounted, then she's not going to have to stress how she's going to mount it. Years ago, before they come out with these dishwasher brackets, and I was working in the industry then, it was an issue. Everybody was like, well, what are we going to do to mount my dishwasher? What are we going to do to mount my dishwasher? A lot of your nicer cabinet guys would actually build a piece of wood in there and paint it or stain it the same color as the cabinets, and then you could just screw directly into that. But if you're just getting cabinets at Lowe's or Home Depot, installing them yourself or whatever, you don't have that piece of wood. So we could drill holes in the stone and then inset a piece of wood in that hole and put some screws up in it. Or what we would do a lot of times is just get like a spring clamp, and we would silicone the ears to the top and hold it on there with the spring clamp, and depending on how close that job was to our shop, we would stop back by the job site and get our spring clamp, or if it was an hour away or so, we would just let the customer have it. And once silicone dries, it's really strong and it would hold it to it. What I just did there was I pre-drilled a pilot hole for this bracket into the cabinet. If you don't pre-drill holes, what you have a lot of the time is you'll go to put a screw in and it'll crack your cabinet. And in my opinion, anybody that don't drill pilot holes is just lazy. There's no reason to not put a pilot hole in it. These here, we'll just drill up here, and they'll always be there for whenever she wants to utilize them. And I've got one more screw that goes into that cabinet there, but I think it will move that stove out of the way. And this island here is movable sand.
Yeah.
If we got a pencil, we can make a couple marks on the floor here and move this island out of our way, and I think it'll help us out, moving the stove and getting this big top in here.
About right there where they want it, right?
Yeah, we haven't moved it yet, so.
Alright. Look, do it right there,
Yep.
right there. Right there. Right there. It should be good. These two corners here, the rest they don't line up back
All
up.
we gotta do is just pick it up and move it straight over that way. Get it out of our way. One, 2, 3. Let's move these blankets here out of our way, and we're gonna use this one. We'll set that stove on it, and then we'll pull it back. That last job you came with us on, Gary, we didn't have a whole lot of room at all, did we?
Lean back.
Yeah.
Road.
Here, right.
Ready?
1, 2, 3.
All our dishes is coming out.
Not the back side.
Back side. All right.
One, two, three.
What happens when you get undermounts all the time and all of a sudden you get another drop in it throws you off, don't it? Most times people drop in, you dip the undermount through for it, you know what I mean?
Sometimes you got your camper goes up. Had everything went over except for the templates. Yeah, I did a lot of templates. You need that? Nope. And the sinks drop in. Someone put it in the hole and I was like, sure it's gonna fit. A lot of times we gotta cut those sinks. So glad I didn't cut that sink, man, with it being a drop in. Cause it would have been
I
done.
seen that you had the top blocked out last night.
We'd have 5 minutes more. Alrighty, I know you're probably gonna voice over and roll it in. It's easy on the back. We got our electronic controller here. We just raise the top up. It usually raises a little higher than the cabinet, and we gotta lower it back down. The main thing you gotta look for when you're using this part, I've noticed it because early on, I had to pay special attention to it. I'm gonna pull my pin. We pull her pin, flip her over. You just wanna make sure that you don't hit or scratch the cabinet or anything like that. And you want to make sure you're far enough away from the cabinet when you lower it down to get it even, so you know this part don't scratch the front of the cabinet. So now we'll pull it back, let her feet fall, put the cart over, see where we're at, and we still need to go down a little bit, so we'll pull the cart back away from the cabinet, get yours on there, Sammie.
It's good.
Now we wear our tops touching the cabinet. We'll go back up just a hair. Want to get all the way up here.
Aren't you good, Mark?
Yeah. And if the cabinet's up in the back a little bit, sometimes we gotta get a suction cup to lift up on it. One thing you don't wanna do on the top is just lift up on one end. Just push around a little bit of bow in the wall there, right in here. Easy. That's good. Just lift it. Might have to trim. I need to come on over here, man. What is that? You got it? On these, you want to make sure you don't do any flexing at all. And when you're picking it up, getting over here, you see we got the carbon fiber rods in the front and back. And then we'll put these aluminum rails on there.
Hey y'all. No, I'm just saying, clamp ain't the way to do it. 2, 3. Too much this way or?
Spray me or, you know. And a walking country mile down a fucking mountain. I need to go on first, right?
Kind of help with that.
I'm gonna get right here.
Clamp or?
I wasn't sure. I wasn't ignoring you. I just wasn't sure. I just wasn't sure. Raise it up. Layer over. Layer over. I want to get it lower down. And I want to catch this on this, and then we can push it on over and push it back. Outside, we got all our rods and rails on it.
Ready? 1, 2,
3. What's that?
reach.
Alright, I'm gonna lay down. Alright, push just the top to me.
Oh, just the top.
Yep. Alright. Keep coming with the top.
You can get that back.
Hold on. Alright, I'm gonna raise her up before a little low. Alright, come on with me. Alright, I need to come out.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna come up a little more. Do I need to come up on that end?
No, you're good. We just need to
I
square
need
it
to
up.
work y'all's in, and I need to work mine out and
You need to come out some more.
in. I need to get this cart in to where it's supposed to all the way. I need to come down. Good. Now we got plenty of support, so I'm gonna pull out. Okay, you ready? Come to me.
Yeah, there we go. Need to come up just a hair, because I don't want to pick up on it perfect.
Hold on. You gotta stay together. Back it up. Hold on. I'm digging. We did take the 10-foot and pull it in and out, right? It didn't lift it, we slid it in and out, right?
118 and 9 inches.
It's pretty tight, fellas.
Yeah, I know.
Very more, get it some rhythm.
How we go? We've got to stay totally together, man.
Hold, hold.
I have 118 and a half.
Back to the hair, Mike.
Probably flat.
Oh.
Hold on a second, someone will look at me. It's secured from behind it. A lot of times you can.
It should go.
Yeah. Let me go. Oh, there we go.
Hang on.
Hold on.
Back
Yeah,
a little bit.
come back.
Come on.
You always gotta watch your opening on the sides. If one side gets bigger than the other, you know you're too far.
Far back, Sammy.
There.
Now, it's easier for us to push this in, so we'll let him go first.
Oh, yeah. Keep going in. Back it up. Alright,
Now you want to drop the car.
pull that part out of the way.
We'll leave each one in mine and we'll be just. Oh, I'm not sure how far it is. Try you want to get mine. Try you want to get. No, he needs to get me first.
Oh, no.
Huh?
Oh, no. See that back leg. That's it. It's like it was over there.
Okay, it's it sags on the ends.
Yeah, sure does. So we're either gonna have to shim it or lift or something.
It's probably gonna be his size of this, probably gonna have to be shimmed. This one's fine.
No, oh, I see. It's the strip for the, hang on, Mike.
I got you. All right.
All kind of pipe.
Yeah, you'll have to go in through the sink cabinet. Just don't fall through the bottom. combination's what it is. Yeah, wedged up against the drywall. And the lid, and the weight, it's everything. Makes it freaking pain in the butt. Oh yeah. Wow, my first steps on that refrigerator panel.
Yeah, separation.
Yep. Remember like what we done at that one house with no powers in?
That's what I used to do all.
We used to, get the heat block out.
Yeah, but being it's wall to wall or cabinet to wall, you'd have to pull it all the way back out just to get the rest of the sheetrock. It's in a, we're rocking a hard spot. Wet them and they won't break.
Yeah.
And then they won't snap when you want to.
Yeah. Alright, well there ain't no reason it shouldn't go now. We're skinned up all the way around. We need to work together though. 1, 2, 3. I see that over there. There's no yeah, we're gonna get aggravated now. There's no reason this thing shouldn't be going in here. Alright, slide her out. Let's slide her out. Together and easy. Slide her out. Alright. Right here, there's about 3 to go right here. Right here.
You slide out some more.
What we got in here, we've got a sink run that's wall to wall to cabinet. We always make our templates as tight as possible so that the customer gets the best fit. You don't want a gap in drywall and you don't want a gap in the cabinet. We could live with it if it was in the drywall, but on the cabinet you can't. So to give the customer the best looking job possible, we try to make it tight. These are older cabinets and they settled over time. So the sides, the middle and the front have kind of settled down. And in the back, they stayed solitary because they're connected to the studs in the back. That's the most secure part of the cabinets. So whereas everything else is set down a 1/16 or an 1/8 of an inch, that stayed up. So we got the tightness of trying to squeeze it in, wall to cabinet. We've got the weight of the top, which is a couple 100 pounds. Then we get to the back and then we got that lip. We've got aluminum rails across it, but still yet you just can't pick up on it because you run a risk of breaking your top. So our only option is to trim that out smooth so that when we push, it'll slide up on there rather than trying to pick one side up or the other and getting it on there and then working it because you're running a risk of it breaking. So it's a long, stressful, tedious process, but you have to do it this way to complete a job without broken tops. It's just drop-in sink instead of dropping the whole sinkhole at the shop. You know, you saw the dilemma we just had getting this slid back on the cabinet and in between the walls and all that. Had we had dropped this whole sink, there's a lot higher chance of breaking it. So, with the drop-in, it gives us the advantage of keeping some stability in the top. So what we do is we cut it deep here, and then we bring our blade up and only cut it halfway through here, 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 and here. And we go ahead and block our corners. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the front and the back, and it's going to separate it from these sensitive areas, so I don't have to worry about any pressure on them. Then I'll put my wood across here, and I'll clamp it, and I'll cut my sides, and then we'll just lift this out and pull it out and clean our corners. So not only does it give us an extra stability to get the top in place, but it also limits the amount of dust that we create inside a customer's house. We would have more stability had we left it whole and not even scored it, but it would take 2 to 3 times as long and as much dust to cut it in a customer's house. This is the best way to do a drop-in sink for us as installers and fabricators and for the customer. So that's what's going on here. gonna be taking this top right here and that.
Somebody must tap that thing down, so. Alright. And pull this all the way over where the overhang's to the back. You're gonna want to hold pressure up on us and put your foot behind there so the cabinet doesn't slide. Alright, hold on. Got your tape on? No. It's coming your way, does it?
Actually,
Each.
I don't know, and I might be speaking too soon, the overhang is the same on both sides.
Left and right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You talking about here and here?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or you grab and take?
No, you were speaking right at the.
Well, I didn't know if
right
y'all was doing something else first or.
now. No, normally it's all to one side and,
Yeah, well, it had bar stools on both sides and it
Okay.
shows that way, so it works out.
it makes sense because there's gonna be quite a bit on that side.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yeah, I think it looks better like that.
Saves all in the 90s, you better get that poop wreck.
Yeah.
Should be about 9.5 on each side according to the template saying.
You got 10 and a half on this side. 8 and a half here.
We just right here.
Nine and a half. But I went too much.
Anytime you're caulking out tops, you want to make sure you get the nicest, cleanest bead possible. Basically, when somebody looks under it, I've worked with guys before. I call it two-finger caulking. Because it looks like they took 2 fingers and wiped it across the cabinet. It's about 1 inch down. It looks like feces. So then they had to spend about an hour cleaning up their caulk. My uncle, who I hired 3 different times, I asked him on a job one day after he had installed with this, what, 20 jobs, Sammy?
And I showed them and showed them and showed them how to caulk. Like, you think you can run this caulk? Oh yeah, I can caulk. I caulked the toilet at my house. Like, I'm not asking you if you caulk the toilet, I'm asking you can you caulk these countertops like I do. Oh yeah, I can caulk. Man, he had big inch gaps in it. The rest of it looked like curtains hanging down. I told him he better never touch a caulk gun on my job sites again. I'd hate to see his daggone toilet at his house. It's nothing on these jobs are rocket science. You just gotta take a little pride in what you do and try to make things look good. I mean, you wanna look at these jobs like you're doing it for your mom or your grandmother or your wife or, you know, somebody that's saved up for years to get these tops. They act like, I don't know, just laziness in my opinion. On any granite job, your sink area is always your most sensitive area. So that's why we put the carbon fiber rotting in the front and the back of the rails. That's why we left the block of it on the inside. And that's why any spaces I see, I'm making sure I got shim nice and tight. Once the countertops are on the cabinets and they're shimmed and they're caulked down and they're secured, they're safe. You can stand on them, sit on them, do whatever you want. But before you get everything situated and organized, it's your most sensitive area. So you want to do everything you can to get it nice and secure for your customers.
Just gonna say all good, but that's good.
Silicone not only keeps your tops from being bumped and moving, which the 18 to 23 pounds a square foot helps with that also, but it also acts as kind of like a cushion for your tops if there are any gaps. It'll get in there when we wipe it, and it'll fill those gaps, and it'll work as like a set of shocks or something to keep anything from happening to it. Now at this point, I would like to keep that stove back over here after we put that island back in the way. Yeah, it's alright. It'll slide through there. We have to move the island one wheel.
We probably go right around there, Mom. Move that trash can and that thing right there.
Alright. Let's get it in there. That way if we need to move this little top or something to get it tighter, we can before that silicone sets it up.
off of this blanket, so too I can come to it. Beautiful.
Just look.
Once I finish painting the cabinets, I'll really pop.
Get your backsplash, get them cabinets spot painted, that's gonna look real good.
Yeah.
Right now, we have got the appliances in place. We've got all the tops in place. We've got the bottom side of the top silicone to the cabinets. So at this point, we'll start cleaning up all of our tools, our templates, our cards, etc. We will also start cleaning the tops with denatured alcohol, which gets all the epoxy, any whiteout pins, any silicone, any dust, any germs, anything off the tops. Strips it back down to the bare stone. After we get it cleaned off, we will put the sealer on it. We'll pour the sealer on, buff it in, all the edges, all the tops. What that does is seals the tops. It takes a few hours to soak into the pores and the fissures. Also, when you're cleaning those tops and you're wiping that sealer on there, through the rag you can feel any sticky spots, anything rough on the top. So we always carry a razor blade in our hand and a couple in our back pocket. That way if we run across any rough areas, we can scrape it off. That way when we finish the job, the customer gets the smoothest, nicest, shiniest countertops possible. We want when that customer walks into the kitchen for the first time to be like, wow, we want it to look like a new car. So that's why we do the cleaning and sealing process. And we may do that a couple of times depending on how clean and how nice we feel we got the tops. But that's kind of where we're at right now. It's the clean up, make it pretty stage.